Nope, I won't be slobbering up every time I take a bite. I'm polite like that. Let's see, what do we got? What do we have? BVN still going strong. Alright, I still got my VXX chart up. I really want to see this breakout. Either breakout. This would be nice to have this triangle breakout today. If it rejects, the downside's kind of limited. And I have to deal with this support too, which would be annoying to have to look at this as a bounce area. That's not giving us that much profit. That's like 41.90. That's like 40 cents profit. That's not enough profit. Yeah, I do have some audio issues. Yep, I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm really close to my router, but I had to redo. I actually did a huge carpentry project in my living room. We got a new entertainment center and network center, so things are kind of not good in terms of connection. It's still decent, but if the audio is really bad, I might have to shut down one of my streams, maybe the black box one, as I don't want to use up all that bandwidth. Let me know if it's still really bad, guys, and I can actually call in on Zoom as well and use that for audio, which would sound better. It's good now. Cool. We use a lot of bandwidth here at the Bullish Bears. We got trade ideas streaming for people. We got on YouTube, Benzinga, Zoom. TrendSpider uses a fair bit of market data. Thinkorswim uses a fair amount. Let's see, BVN. Let me take a look at SPY on TrendSpider. So TrendSpider showing a rejection breakdown alert right in here. You know it's a little congested with the trend lines, but SPY looks like it's got downside to 266 coming. If it starts to waterfall right through here, that's going to push VXX up, and that's going to be a good opportunity to day trade these calls. Yeah, so sorry about that. I don't know why it's not working. I updated trade ideas. I deleted the window, then I added the trade ideas halt scanner window back, and it's still not working. So I need to reach out to those guys, see what's going on with it. I don't know if anyone else has trade ideas. They can check and tell me is their halt scanner working or not. I've been watching Benzinga, or you can actually watch black box stocks will give you alert when a stock is halted as well. But maybe one of my friends in the trade room can take a look. Still no move here, guys. Still no move. Still just a battle. Yep, I'll take a look at BVN. BVN's been looking pretty strong. It's still not quite ready to roll. Volume's getting a little bit lighter up here. Let's see where we're at in the big picture. Always got to look at big picture. Let's throw some fibs. Alright, so here's the last major uptrend peak. 1680. Here's the last major low. I like to switch to the 4 hour so I can get that low perfect. So now I got my low right here. 1167. Shave off 2 pennies there. And bada bing. Here we go. So this fib is definitely going to act as resistance and a magnet. Right? Price is being drawn to this. So this would be a couple more pennies to go. Maybe we'll see a decent pullback. Below 1587 is really where it's going to get good if this trend line breaks. This one right here. You see this white line break. You're likely to go back to 1550. That could be a nice little short. It could also rip out to 1680. That could potentially happen too. You know what? There's one other set of trend line that we're not really paying attention to, but these two peaks, connect them, draw this over. This could be a much bigger wedge today. So you have to kind of accept that that could go either way at this point. Yeah, so it's kind of no man's land a little bit. You'd need a really good, strong rollover signal. And actually, VXX is now, I just got tunnel vision. VXX 42 calls are close to being at the right area where I want to pick them up. And let's see, VXX, what's SPY doing? SPY might be starting to roll a little bit. The last piece of the puzzle is making sure that a major support is being tested for momentum. So I'll look at these pre-market low candles. That's the last major support right there. Right through here. So once this trend line breaks, we should get a nice, who knows how big the roll will be, but we got this target right here on SPY today. That could be very nice. Hey, welcome back, Creed. So I'll show you guys on TrendSpider. If I get rid of, if I actually just do none and more lines, TrendSpider will give me a nice little red circle. It's actually TrendSpider's not finding any more lines through here, so this could be a nice little rollover situation. Alright, I'm gonna mute for a second and go grab my food. I'll be back in a minute or two. Okay. Let's see if these calls. Oh, they got printed. Somebody bought a couple above 158, which is that level I was watching. Waiting for this to load. There we go. Just a couple. Only just a couple. Again, these guys down here got the best entry. But they could have got stopped and had to sell right here. So it really doesn't matter. I actually have no preference at all. In some days I'll show you guys. Some days I'll show you guys buying SPY 1. Some days I'll show you guys buying VXX. You could do either or. All that matters is the pattern, the right strike, the right situation. I just happened to pull this one out. So it's just a matter of preference, really. I could show you dozens of contracts and dozens of good calls, good puts to buy on really any stock, but sometimes I make a quicker decision on that. Don't really like to. You can spend a lot of time picking one, but if you just stumble on the right one, again, all I did is look at the money, short-term expiration, momentum, volume. There's really not a ton of volume on these, only 754, but I actually think these call buyers are a little bit trapped right here. I think there needs to be some kind of a down here needs to be some kind of a bull pennant consolidation pattern. Something like this potentially. Even though it broke this right angle, there's got to be something to sustain the move. It's getting lots of good volume through here, but it always does, and you really need some type of breakout flagpole. I mean, you can see all the resistance forming at 42 right here. Candlestick close on the 5-minute is having trouble with 42.35. I believe this is actually an area that it's had trouble. Yeah, see, it had trouble with it yesterday, and it had to pull back to get the strength to do it. So we might see another pullback before it gets the strength to do it again. So no trade. No trade, because the market loves to trap. I'll show you guys. I'm going to share this chart on Black Box real quick. Let's see how that works. All right, cool. I just shared my chart. So that's what I'm watching through here. See if this builds up some pressure right through here, and then we'll get a good buy. So yeah, I don't like this 5-minute 9 EMA, pull back to VWAP. This is where people get trapped. They see this break this right angle, and then that's where finally all the profit taking happens. You see this pullback. We're probably going to see this build for a little bit. So, you guys have heard me say this before. I'll share the chart again because I want to annotate this chart really well for y'all. Is that some of the best trades will happen in the afternoon or during the lunch hour. Typically, what do you guys think? I seem to see this is my perspective. I see a lot of really good trades for options and stocks lately happening either in the pre-market or like 11:30 to like 3. Right? Lunch hour, right? See you, Thien. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this build up inside this kind of wedge, symmetrical triangle, and then eventually it's going to get too tight, and then we're either going to break this level or we're going to break this level through here and then go back down and test this. And that's trading. Right back to here, which would suck because, again, downside's limited. This is not a good range to trade. This is where all the green pasture is. This is where it's really not fun. And you can see the way SPY is behaving. SPY needs to break this. SPY's almost in an identical pattern, which is why I show the both. So you need an agreement between the two, right? You already have that same pattern I just showed you on VXX. And if there's no agreement, then there's no deal. There's no trade, right? If we end up doing this, this is called an option killing triangle. So if you buy calls and puts, you're probably just losing money or making a few bucks, losing money, making money. And then next thing you know, this is where it breaks out, and then you see which direction paid off. Or it just ends up making a wider option killing triangle. That's completely possible as well too. So you really need strong signals to make trades. Yep, just trap candles on these. So then, you know, if you typically like to trade SPY and VXX, you'd completely go look at something else that maybe has a better range. The problem is the way that they're playing games is not going to support some other moves. But you can see it with Netflix. It's also kind of in a trappy triangle, right? This is kind of a trappy triangle. Maybe getting ready to break out. Again, we've been talking about that 272 potential upside move on Netflix is possible. Okay, guys, muting for a minute. Okay. So again, you got Netflix here looking slightly bullish, and you've got VXX kind of bearish. You've got the high a day resistance level on Netflix, and you also have the overhead. So there's a little bit of pressure in this apex that could cause it to squeeze up to 273. It would probably squeeze that far if VXX would just give up this level. So if you see that level get gived up, broken, you might see Netflix pop. That might be a really good trade. I think I'd be watching that more right about at this level. Right about in here. I would like to be notified at that 269 level. It looks like it. Oh, I did at or below. That's the problem. Oh, hang on. It's touching the drawing. Let's do at or above. Give it a couple pennies above 269. There we go. Going back to SPY, you can see this triangle pattern right here. Again, what's that have? 1230. This might be 1230 before we make a trade on SPY or VXX. I'm going to go through and look at some of the other scanners and tools that I have and see if we can find anything else that might look good today. Facebook. Let's see, Facebook might. Ooh, Facebook is at angular. Bit of a down channel, wide range. Let's check TrendSpider. Again, if you guys are just watching the channel now, we announced earlier we're going to do a webinar with TrendSpider in not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So be sure to check out our Facebook fan page, Bullish Bears. You'll get the event schedule there. Got a couple events scheduled on there this week. So Facebook seeing the same level of resistance on TrendSpider. Let's look at some Facebook puts, guys. And Facebook is at 143.50. So we'll go a little bit in the money so we can make some money. And let's scroll this down. Actually, let's collapse that. And there's our Facebook puts. Ooh, look at these things. Oh, a bunch of them got snagged up. So, man, that's a really nice support level. That is a very nice support level, coincided with, ta-da, a nice resistance level. All right, gonna mute for a couple seconds. All right, let's look at the trend on this one. $186. Let's see, what the heck was that high? There we go, 1079. Close enough. Close enough. So, yeah, this looks kind of good. That is very tempting. I haven't traded any Facebook puts at all recently. I'm kind of liking this potential pullback. Let's see if there's any daily support and resistance. Oh, all the way back down here, 142. Let's see, anything on the hourly I should be worried about? Not really, huh? $142 looks like a good pullback spot. Yeah, so I might bite on a couple of these with a semi-tight stop. It looks like $3 would be a good resistance area. So that'd be a nice little scalp. I'm liking this VXX strength on this pullback to maybe break this triangle. Again, I like where Facebook's at on this TrendSpider chart. It's super clean. It's a nice super clean area. So if we start printing candles above here, I'd have to close my puts and take a loss, and that's just what happens. But 142.70 looks like it's on deck. So that's in, what are we at now? So it's not quite $1 profit, but it could put us back at this $3 range, especially if these start to get scooped up. These could actually, this is a nice megaphone pattern, but it'll likely run into some resistance at this $3 level. So maybe we can sell these at $3 and make a nice little coin. It looks like people are starting to jump into these a little bit more now. Ooh, you can see VXX 5-minute big bullish engulfing. We got, wow, 30 seconds left for this to close. So this could be the break we were looking for. Let's see what those 42 calls are looking. Those are above my zone where I kind of like to see these close above 160 in the next 20 seconds, and I'll probably buy some of these too. So the guys on Black Box couldn't see, but the guys on Facebook, or I'm sorry, the guys on YouTube and Zoom got to see. I'm just gonna post the chart in the other channel that we have. We're running. Hopefully this isn't a trap. Need to see some follow through. The close above resistance was pretty nice on VXX. That's the first 5-minute candle we had close up in this range. So I think I got a good entry on the Facebook side. We might see a nice little grind up, little maybe start the party a little bit earlier today. Double puts then calls on SPY. Anka, are you trading? Anka TV, are you trading puts on SPY? NBEV. Is that a hammer on the 1 minute? Yeah, but it's above it's below the 90 MA. And NBEV hates to be below 650 because that's that 50% retracement level. It usually ends up, once it gets above and crosses back over, it's been doing this for God knows how long. Every time it gets below this 50% line, it ends up in this kind of crappy limbo of like $6 to 650, but it's generally bearish. Hourly charts bearish on NBEV. I wouldn't try to trade any reversals on NBEV right now, unless you want to trade a really tight falling wedge that gets a lot of volume. There is a falling wedge here. I don't know why this trend line took me 3 times to draw, but you can't do anything until it gets out of this thing. Then you need the right signals. Oh, back to these calls. All right, these are finally printing. There's not really getting a lot of buys on them. Maybe I should go out another week. Let's go out to these. Maybe these are looking a little bit better. Yeah, they're not really looking much better. So maybe the short terms are where it's at. They just don't particularly like the volume below 1,000. Would rather see a little bit more on the volume side. Yeah, I think we're still a little bit choppy. I mean, SPY definitely got out of this, so SPY fell out of this triangle, which is really nice. And there's your next level, but it could bear it, the patterns that could form here are bear flags. You could get a falling wedge. I typically won't make falling wedges this way. Falling wedges like to be degreed down, either something in the 20-30 degree land like that. All right, I'm seeing some buying come in, so you'll end up with this. This wedge is one. The next one that might take it down is possibly this one, which is white. Again, I like to see 2 falling wedges together. That's even better. All right, so you've got 2 ones, one that's a little less steep than the other, and then the whole big picture down here being the ultimate magnet today. So we'll see. So typically you'll see, right, there's a lot of people short from in this area. It breaks down. This is where they take their profit, cover, get squeezed, cover kind of quick. There's a possibility we go right back up and we're forming a new pattern and a new wedge. Now that we finally see some aggressive movement, there's, often there's a new pattern born every minute. So you got to, be on the lookout, try to find them. I'm not sure, trader. I'm not sure. Matt Elrod might have figured that out. So if you ask in our swing trade room, Matt might be in there. He might be able to let you know. Yep. Let's see what else we got going on. Scanner. BIIB alert came in on black box at 300. Looks like a short alert. Let's see, let's broadcast that chart. So BIIB found resistance at 332. Right there. So that is a major potential pivot point. Potential falling wedge right there. What's the daily doing? There's some daily support down there. So it looks like a descending triangle, semi-sloped. These are typically good for selling option spreads. You start seeing a pattern like this. You could sell calls above, sell a call spread above, sell a put spread below. Typically do really well with that. But now you're in a situation right here, intraday. This is the alert level. Very oversold. Possible pop up to 307 if it gets back above here. It does look like, yeah, Facebook's turning around a little. I'm watching it to see if this 5-minute candle closes above. This is the last 5-minute candle I can really stand in terms of whether I close that trade out or not. But we just formed a new one. It's looks like it's just above the previous candle, but TrendSpider hasn't marked it as a breakout area yet, so it's possible that it's just an exhaustion. So, not making any move yet. I see some strength in VXX right at this 9 EMA. We might be forming a bullish triangle here. This overall triangle looks pretty bullish, but I'm also noticing I like to see these triangles on a 5 or 1 minute that are they're basically bull pennants, bull flags, where you've got a nice strong volume move up and then you see a little bit of consolidation. These are all traders lining up at support resistance right here, and we're pretty close in this apex. So we should see a decent size move to the upside if it does break out to the upside. If it doesn't, we fall back inside this triangle, then yeah, we're just looking at more of a BS sideways kind of day, range trading day. But it's Tuesday, so we shouldn't really get that. We should have a little bit more excitement in range. There's no Fed speakers or anything today, but I believe tomorrow is I think we got some Fed speakers on deck tomorrow. If we take a look at the economic calendar tomorrow, which I recommend every trader pays attention to, you'll see we've got some economic data, and then we've got home sales at 10 a.m., crude oil, and then you've got the big 2 o'clock crazy Fed day, interest rate decision tomorrow. So markets are going to be just kind of wonky. They always are. Some days I don't even like trading on Fed days, so I don't even know if I'll trade tomorrow because they can be so frustrating with the chop. But hey, we're in a choppy market, so you got to adjust and take different types of strategies. And nothing's going to happen. If the government shuts down, it's shut down so many times before, and it at least in the days that I've been trading and I've seen government shutdowns, it hasn't really mattered much. The market just shrugs it off. The thing is, this time it could be a little bit different because of the type of political and economical and market environment we're in. I don't know, maybe it reacts different this time. But I don't think it's really a big day to worry about. But you never know. So trying to creep out of this triangle. This 42.35 area is a nice area to look for potential breakout. Might be starting to see it. If we get above 42.50, VXX might grow some legs today, which is why I wanted to snatch up those $42 calls. But they can't seem to stay above 159. There's not a lot of buying on these, so but there's a good potential to get up to $2, maybe even hit that high at 241. Somewhere right about there. So we're watching them. But that BIIB alert looked pretty nice for the short. You can see in the last few minutes this is really broken down above there, gone down a couple bucks from their alert level. So it's definitely respecting that identified level. This could break out, spill out to the downside, then you'd have maybe 289 to support it. Completely possible, but we would need some kind of spike in the VXX. And anything above here, this alert level would cause, I would think, a squeeze and bring us up to this top level. So there's a good trade either direction here. Yep, looking, let's see, call side. Options, looking at the option scanner today. BA has been pretty bullish. That is at angular support. But it also hit that, what's that, last Thursday or Wednesday high. Might be a bit of a down channel here on BA. I don't know, looking at the call side, guys, I don't really see anything really too good. Facebook is right at my last trend line of basically resistance. I'm going to have to close out that one if it continues anymore. It looks like it could move up to 146. I wouldn't be willing to hold it and then have it pin and trade sideways there, so I'm keeping an eye on that. AMD looks nice, huh? So rising wedge broke down, and now we're in this consolidation wedge. We can get rid of this one. I love it when I duplicate my trend lines. That's so fun, because then I have to click even more. All right. Yeah, it's kind of in a lazy channel. You could maybe do stock. I wouldn't play with options on this one. They're just going to be too messy. But there's upside to maybe 2032 on the stock side with this one. This does look like a very bullish pattern. You see the volume trend like this. Any volume that breaks us out of this kind of rising channel is going to look very nice. I noticed AMD kind of does its own thing too. It hasn't been at the being as whipped around by the market, SPY and VIX as much, but it does look a little bullish if you look at the pennant that Menden just mentioned. We do have a bull pennant situation here too with a rising channel. Facebook I'm still holding. I think that thing's going to reverse and crash. I just think it got a little bit above that trend line. A little bit of pain getting above this first trend line area. But I see some resistance in this area. I actually threw more lines up on TrendSpider. Actually, TrendSpider is predicting a down move on it. Now I just got the red bubble on the 5-minute, so that's nice to actually see. And I added more lines, so this was that second line that I was looking at. If I click lock, after I go to more lines, I can right click and lock the trend line. Then I can go back to most relevant and get rid of, because you see what happens. I don't really need all these. I'm not worried about these directions right now. I'm only really worried about, maybe I'll lock this one too. So you kind of get the lines that you need where you're at, and now you've got some good info to go off of. VXX looking a little bit nicer. This might be breaking this bull pennant as well. There's a little bit of a little teeny bull pennant. You could see it got out, but it might be widening. My trend lines are starting to overlap a little bit, but all this consolidation in here, the top of this channel, breaks the top of this channel, VXX will really start to move, and then you'll see SPY really roll over. You can see right here, either one of these trend lines is major support. These get broken, you're going to see SPY hit. What do I got? Oh, it's so low you can't even see it on the 5 minute. 254. I don't know why I can't see that if I zoom in too much. There we go. Yeah, 254. So close to yesterday's low. That's typical, right? We're in sell to rip mode. So oversold, bounce, hits resistance, sell off. It's the trend, guys. The trend is down. There's nothing we can do about it. As much as we don't want our retirement accounts to get decimated by massive pullbacks in the market. You guys want to see a scary chart? It's 11 o'clock, so it's scary. This is where I like to do. We'll make 11 o'clock the scary chart hour, and then I'll end the stream. So we'll look at the. I want to look at the long-term chart of the SPX cash. Kind of give everybody a heart attack, and then we'll end the stream here. Go to max available. So this is just my opinion. I'm not saying to trade based on any of this. Did I erase the chart? Oh wow, I must have cleared the trend lines on this. Well, you guys will get to see me draw it then. So this is the SPX cash S&P 500. We have two megaphone patterns. We have this first megaphone pattern, and you've got these three massive waves, right? It's the first wave, it's the second wave, third wave is the longest, culminating at the top, connecting with these trend lines. And now it's anyone's guess. I mean, the monthly is now potentially going to close below the 9 EMA, which, you know, could start just kind of a further choppiness for, you could see the last time we did it on the monthly, it was just a very choppy zone. And then that first monthly green candle above the 9 EMA kicked off this last bull run that we had. But there's essentially another megaphone pattern within a megaphone pattern. And if you look at some of these candles, you end up with, and I'll change the color. I had this all drawn and annotated, but I must have deleted it. See the RSI dropping below. RSI is kind of actually even below that support level, indicating possible further selling still this month. But here you go. You got two megaphone patterns. I've showed this to some of you guys in the group before, I think a couple weeks ago. And this is really what I think the next support is for the S&P, is somewhere in the 23s, maybe low 24s. I mean, it could take several months, but if we look at the weekly chart and try to, like, you know, as traders, we want to try to read the right side of the chart, what to expect, and we just look at the market is telling us there's a line here, there's something going on here, so you try to do your best to connect these. TrendSpider will do it for you. Actually, TrendSpider doesn't have a monthly time frame yet, I don't think. But on the weekly, you could find these trend lines. And we're in this pretty steep falling wedge, and we're at the bottom of it. So I would like to see a huge squeeze and this pop up and see us in the mid 2650s again. But we don't have a really good signal for that yet. Right, if you look at the daily, we might be starting to put in a belt hold here, but it may take a couple days. It might take the rest of the week to build it, and it may never, it may never come. If we break this line, we might see a really steep move down to here. I don't think we will. I don't think the market's ready to do this in the month of January. I actually think it's more likely that the market does this and then gets to this level and then hopefully does that. That would be awesome. But if it breaks through here, we're talking really, really hard times. That was a nervous laugh because nobody wants to see that happen, right? Nobody wants to see this line break and us go all the way back to, you know, this would be pretty catastrophic to pull back that far. Because even in general, after these big bull waves and the dot-com bubble, the housing crisis credit bubble, and then the everything bubble, you know, it's still, if you look at the Fibonacci waves of these moves from where they started and pulled back, pulled back, they got just below their 50% level. Oh, I got my Netflix trigger. So 50% retracement would be likely, and maybe a little bit lower. But what's that put us at? 1800. And you could see how long it took to get a 50% retracement. It took from the highs roughly 2000 to 2003, end of 2002. And then let's see, then we had this bear market here in basically September 2008, all the way down to, we got really oversold end of 2009, right? Middle 2009 we started to creep back up. Actually, it was probably like second quarter. So you're looking at maybe 2 years, right? 2 years to get these 50% retracement levels, and then those were great buying opportunities. So again, this megaphone, this red one, might hold it up, but when I look at this chart and you really take a step back, you know, and depending on your retirement age, you have to treat everything differently. But for me personally, I'm in my late 30s now. You know, I still have a lot of time for retirement to go. So this coming down to this level, maybe this level and bouncing, and then getting back up to 29, this will be a time to really add to your retirement portfolio if you're in your 20s, 30s. Whoops. And I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just my technical analysis that I'm sharing with you guys. Don't trade anything based off of anything that I'm showing you guys. I don't want anybody to do that. The whole idea of the Bullish Bears is to educate you guys on patterns, buy and sell signals, so that you guys can make your own decisions and become great traders, right? Everything we do is for that. So I figured I would take a little bit of time, show you the patterns and stuff that I'm looking at, and you know, end the stream with a little bit of long-term technical analysis. But this is where my head's at. I'm looking at these patterns as buying opportunities for long-term. For me personally, you know, for you, everybody's different, has a different goal, age goals. You know, your goals change with your age. You know, there's going to be people that are buying stocks all the way down, right? There's always people buying stocks on the way down because they're looking for that long-term, hey, I'm just adding shares, I'm buying shares, and then the next thing you know, the next bear market, whenever it comes, if we're in it now, we don't know it yet, whatever it is, you know, we're still in a bullish uptrend, up channel, so it's possible that it doesn't end. It's possible that they pick this up and it squeezes up even higher. So the people who just bought and added all these shares who are young and then have this retrace, great, they might sell some profit or they might be really happy. And then maybe they, you know, sell and then pick up on the next, you know, the next bear market or the next major downtrend. So who the heck knows, but I'm always looking at these charts to try to get a good handle and gauge on where we're headed. And jumping back over to Facebook. Facebook was in a megaphone pattern. Right? Facebook has two megaphones. It's got this red sell me line. There's the bottom green buy me line. There's definitely some people buying off the weekly retracement we had back in November. Buying this little pop up to the 9 EMA. 9 EMA is where the weekly has failed before. We're right there now, so it's possible we're going to fail again. 9 EMA is at 144.42 right now. And if you look, we're like right up against it. And we got support at 136. You might see some of these dip buyers get a little shaken out on this 9 EMA long term. And maybe we double bottom off this megaphone. But if these megaphone patterns, read our megaphone blog post. So if you guys want to learn more about megaphone patterns, we have a whole website with free courses and all this information. You can get our ebook, which you can read about megaphone patterns. We've got, I think we're up to like 200 blog posts now on different patterns and indicators and forms and buy and sell signals, all this stuff. Study this megaphone pattern. Eventually, these things culminate with a breakout of this pattern. So all patterns end eventually and new patterns form. And, you know, Facebook megaphone, if this thing breaks, just like the megaphone on the SPX, we'll see some really ugly type selling. And now we're getting well into the 11 o'clock hour. And VXX looking very bullish 5-minute candle. Might be kicking off a nice little run through here. How's our SPY looking? SPY looking not so hot at the bottom of that. So we might see a little bit of rollover. How are my $42 calls? Where the heck did those things go? I'm drawing a blank. I got the $50, $39 call. Did I delete it? Yeah, I guess oh, there it is. That's a $39 call, though. Well, come on, fingers. I'm like lagging terribly right now. There we go. Yeah, so now these things are getting... Alright, that's back now. Now they're over my fib with some volume. You might try to scalp these up to $2. I'm just going to snag 5 of them right now. See if I can get filled in the middle. Alright guys, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little scalp on VXX today. I see a lot of room for it to run. I'm going to end the stream, but I just want to recap. I'm basically short on Facebook. I'm looking for this to break down. This 5-minute little uptrend to end. Maybe retrace to one of these two trend lines. We'll have to see where I'm going to take profit on those puts, hopefully. I will stop out above this line, of course, because I'm not going to let this thing run, because that's trading, right? We want to have a plan. That's my plan. On VXX, we got room up to the daily upper Bollinger Band today, or any one of these daily or 5-minute lines, which this would kind of be the first. I actually have an alert already set on VXX, so oh, it looks like it expired, so let me remove this one. Alright, so you get to see me create an alert with TrendSpider. So breakthrough, touch, bounce, I don't care. If it gets within 5 cents of my trend line, I want to be alerted. I want a 5-minute candle to tell me that price is hitting the upper B band VXX, and I'll just set it for a week because I really want to get out of this trade today. But I'm looking for this level to get hit, and that looks like 43.44. That would be a nice little quick $25 scalp on those contracts today. So 43.24, let's mark that out on our chart. 43, let's call it 43.25, which is pretty close to where that high a day level was yesterday. So there's my range. Create an alert withdrawing. So now I got 2 alerts, crosses above or just crosses, boom. Thinkorswim's going to tell me. That's a wrap. Any questions, guys, in the trade room? Anybody watching on the Black Box Stocks, you can always ask us questions, send us emails, IM us, DM us. There's a million ways to contact us these days. But hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will be streaming for you guys, I think tomorrow, and I think maybe, well, definitely Thursday. But I think I'm going to stream tomorrow as well and Thursday because Lucian's working on all kinds of other fun stuff for us with the website. So you guys will keep seeing changes on the website. If you guys see something wrong on the website, just send us a message if you don't mind. If it's not too much trouble to ask. We appreciate your guys' eyes and ears. Again, it's basically a small team of us, right? We got our moderators. We've got we got one website guy who's helping us. He's really good. We'll tell you guys all about him eventually. But you know, we do a lot. We're very hands-on. So we're traders, but we're also, you know, basically doing the stuff on our website and producing content. And it's a lot, guys. It's a lot to manage your own trades plus do this stuff. But you know what? We love it. We love what we do. We love our members. You guys are great. I always enjoy streaming for you guys. And hopefully you're able to take some of this information that I put out today, add it to your own knowledge. Maybe it's stuff you already know. You know, I try to cover a lot of bases and give people a lot of different perspectives on things and let you guys really kind of look over my shoulder to what I'm looking at. And hopefully that is the kind of stuff that helps you guys become better traders. You're welcome, guys. Chad, Irina, Trex, Ari. You guys are awesome. And, you know, so 2019 is going to be a big year. It's coming up fast for us, guys. We're going to be upgrading our chat room. We're going to be hopefully adding more moderators. We're going to be focusing more on swing trading because our swing trade room has not gotten the love and attention it deserves. Our futures trading room's awesome. Our day trading room is awesome. We want to make our swing trading room great as well. So we're working on that, and we'll have our options spreads coming out. Irina's trading real options today. Awesome. That's great. Keep me posted on that, Irina. I'm very proud of you. Your progress. You've been doing awesome. Super disciplined. You guys pay attention to Irina. She's going to be a superstar someday, options trader. I have no doubt. That girl works very, very hard. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My VXX options are looking good. My Facebook puts are starting to look good. They're starting to break down a little bit. And so we're going to make a little bit of money. And then maybe this afternoon we'll get some really big trades. I might add to some of these positions and make a little bit more coin. So we'll see you guys. I will be in the chat room today throughout the day, posting some updates and charts and stuff like that for you guys. But enjoy, happy trading, and we'll see you on the other side.